When Hurricane Ian devastated Florida, Sarah's family survived for 12 days while their neighbors struggled. The difference? She'd stocked up on 9 ordinary household items that most people throw away or ignore completely. What I'm about to share could literally save your life. These aren't expensive survival gadgets or military-grade equipment. They're common products hiding in your kitchen, bathroom, and junk drawer right now. And the best part? You can get all 9 for under $75 total. Today I'm revealing the surprising survival arsenal that emergency responders swear by, but rarely talk about publicly. Let's dive in. Number 1. Honey, nature's immortal medicine. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Archaeologists cracked open 3,000-year-old Egyptian tombs and found jars of honey still perfectly edible. Not spoiled, not crystallized beyond use, completely fresh. Honey literally never expires. Thanks to its unique chemistry, low moisture, high acidity, and natural hydrogen peroxide production, it creates an environment where bacteria and mold simply cannot survive. In a world obsessed with expiration dates, honey laughs in the face of time. But here's where it gets interesting for survival situations. Modern medical research published in the International Wound Journal confirms what ancient civilizations knew instinctively. Honey is a powerhouse medicine. Applied directly to cuts, burns, or infected wounds, raw honey acts as a natural antibiotic. It pulls moisture from wounds, suffocates harmful bacteria, and creates a protective barrier that promotes healing. Unlike expensive antibiotic creams that expire and lose potency, honey maintains its medicinal properties indefinitely. During the 2021 Texas freeze, Maria's family ran out of first aid supplies by day 3. She remembered her grandmother's advice and started treating her son's infected scrape with raw honey. Within 24 hours, the redness and swelling had noticeably decreased. By day 5, the wound was completely healed. The energy factor is equally crucial. When your body is under extreme stress, your brain consumes up to 25% more glucose than normal. Honey provides pure, immediate fuel. Glucose and fructose that hit your bloodstream within minutes. This isn't just about physical energy. Mental clarity during a crisis can mean the difference between smart decisions and deadly mistakes. But here's the psychological element most preppers miss entirely. During prolonged emergencies, maintaining morale becomes critical. A small taste of sweetness in bitter herbal tea, or eaten straight from the jar, can provide comfort that keeps you mentally strong. When everything feels hopeless, that moment of familiar pleasure reminds you what you're fighting to preserve. The key is choosing raw, unfiltered honey over the processed stuff in plastic bears. Raw honey retains all the enzymes, antioxidants, and medicinal compounds that make it extraordinary. Yes, it costs more up front, but we're talking about medicine that never expires and energy that never fails. Store it in sealed glass jars in a cool, dry place. Even if it crystallizes over time, a gentle warming will return it to liquid form without destroying its properties. Number 2. Aluminum foil, the survival Swiss Army knife. Most people see aluminum foil as something to wrap leftovers. Survival experts see it as one of the most versatile tools on the planet. During last year's unprecedented ice storms across the southern United States, families with wood-burning stoves discovered something amazing. By creating simple reflectors from heavy-duty aluminum foil, they could direct heat more efficiently throughout their homes, reducing fuel consumption by up to 40%. The science is brilliant in its simplicity. Aluminum reflects up to 97% of radiant heat. Position foil-covered cardboard behind a heat source, and you're essentially doubling the warmth reaching your living space. When heating fuel is scarce, this efficiency gain could extend your supplies by days or even weeks. But heat reflection is just the beginning. Aluminum foil excels at signal enhancement, something that saved lives during the 2023 wildfire evacuations in California. Cell phone reception becomes spotty during disasters as towers get damaged or overloaded. A simple parabolic reflector made from foil can boost your phone's signal strength significantly. Here's how it works. Shape a large sheet of foil into a shallow dish behind your phone when trying to make calls or send texts. The reflector focuses radio waves, potentially turning a no-signal situation into a successful emergency call. Search and rescue teams have confirmed this technique works remarkably well. The cooking applications during power outages are game-changing. Heavy-duty foil can create makeshift ovens when wrapped around food and placed near heat sources. During the 2022 derecho that left thousands without power for weeks, outdoor cooking became essential. Foil packets allowed families to steam vegetables, bake fish, and even make bread using nothing but campfires or portable gas burners. Food safety matters tremendously during emergencies. Foil's ability to create airtight seals helps preserve cooked food longer without refrigeration. More importantly, it can fashion efficient solar ovens by lining cardboard boxes and focusing sunlight to reach temperatures over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to pasteurize water and cook food safely. The signaling potential extends beyond cell phones. Large sheets of foil create highly visible reflective signals for aircraft. Military survival manuals recommend foil mirrors for emergency signaling because they're lightweight, weatherproof, and visible from miles away when positioned correctly. For water collection, foil can create effective dew condensation systems overnight. Shape it into funnels or collection trays, and morning dew becomes drinking water. In arid climates or during water shortages, this passive collection method can generate surprising amounts of clean water. The insulation properties work both ways. Foil reflects heat away during extreme summer temperatures. Emergency shelters wrapped in foil stay significantly cooler, and covering windows with the reflective side outward can reduce indoor temperatures by 10 to 15 degrees. Stock heavy-duty aluminum foil, not the thin stuff. The 18-inch wide rolls give you maximum versatility, and the heavier gauge withstands repeated handling without tearing. At roughly $8 per roll, it's insurance that could save your life in dozens of different scenarios. Number 3. Dental floss, the invisible lifeline. This might sound ridiculous until you understand the physics. A single strand of quality dental floss can support up to 30 pounds of weight. That's stronger than most kitchen twine, and it comes in a container smaller than a deck of cards. Special Forces personnel carry dental floss specifically for survival situations. Why? Because it's nearly invisible when set up, incredibly strong, and has applications that most civilians never consider. During the 2023 flooding in Vermont, a family became stranded when the bridge to their property washed out. They needed to get emergency medication to an elderly neighbor across a swollen creek. Using dental floss, they created a zip line system that successfully transported supplies across 40 feet of dangerous water. The fishing applications are remarkable. Dental floss makes excellent fishing line for small to medium fish. The clear varieties are nearly invisible underwater, giving you an advantage over traditional fishing line. Combined with improvised hooks made from safety pins or can tabs, you've got a complete fishing system that weighs less than an ounce. For emergency repairs, dental floss outperforms regular thread by orders of magnitude. Backpack straps, tent fabric, clothing, it stitches through materials that would shred normal thread. The waxy coating on some varieties actually helps create water-resistant seams. Here's where it gets medical. In true emergencies, sterile dental floss can serve as surgical sutures. Wilderness medical experts confirm they've used it multiple times in remote locations when proper medical supplies weren't available. Obviously, this isn't ideal, but in life or death situations, it's knowledge worth having. The cutting applications might surprise you. Dental floss can slice through soft materials more effectively than dull knives. Cheese, clay, tape, zip ties, when pulled taut and sawed back and forth, it cuts cleanly through materials that resist other tools. Security applications exist too. Nearly invisible tripwires can alert you to intruders or animals near your shelter. The thin profile makes it extremely difficult to spot, especially in low-light conditions. For shelter building, dental floss excels at lashing together framework materials. Its flexibility allows for secure knots that won't slip under stress, and the small diameter means you're not weakening structural joints with thick rope. Choose unwaxed floss for maximum versatility. It holds knots better and works more effectively for cutting applications. The waxed varieties are better for repairs and fishing. Brands like Oral-B and Johnson & Johnson consistently test stronger than generic alternatives. One container costs under $3 and provides over 100 feet of emergency cordage. Keep one in your car, one in your emergency kit, and one in your everyday bag. When conventional tools fail, this humble bathroom essential might be exactly what saves the day. Number 4. Baking soda, the crisis chemistry kit. That little orange box in your kitchen cabinet contains enough chemistry to solve a dozen emergency problems. Baking soda isn't just for cookies, it's a survival powerhouse that 90% of preppers completely ignore. The medical applications are extraordinary. Recent research from Stanford University shows baking soda actually outperforms specialized antacids for emergency digestive relief. During high-stress situations, your body overproduces stomach acid, leading to painful gastric issues that can incapacitate you when you need to be functional. Half a teaspoon of baking soda in water provides almost instant relief. Emergency room doctors have used this trick for decades when commercial antacids aren't available. The chemical reaction neutralizes excess acid immediately, restoring your ability to think clearly and act decisively. The fire suppression capabilities saved countless kitchens during recent power outages when people resorted to alternative cooking methods. When baking soda hits grease fires, it releases carbon dioxide that smothers flames instantly. Unlike water, which spreads grease fires dangerously, baking soda provides safe, effective suppression for small cooking fires. Personal hygiene becomes critical during extended emergencies. Baking soda functions as emergency toothpaste, deodorant, and antifungal treatment. Mixed with small amounts of water, it creates an effective tooth cleaning paste that dentists confirm removes plaque more thoroughly than many commercial products. For odor control during close quarters emergencies, a light dusting of baking soda under arms or in shoes works better than deodorant. When you can't shower for days, odor management becomes surprisingly important for both morale and health. The pH balancing properties create life-saving solutions. Mixed with salt in proper proportions, baking soda creates emergency electrolyte replacement that prevents dangerous dehydration. A paramedic in Florida used this exact formula during Hurricane Milton to save an elderly couple with no access to medical supplies. The precise recipe: half teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon salt, 4 cups clean water. It tastes terrible but performs identically to medical-grade rehydration solutions costing 20 times more. Skin treatment applications are remarkable. Baking soda paste neutralizes insect stings, poison ivy reactions, and minor burns. The alkaline nature counteracts acidic toxins, providing relief when medical supplies aren't available. For cleaning when water is scarce, baking soda's mild abrasive action cuts through grease and grime without requiring extensive rinsing. During California's drought restrictions, families discovered they could clean entire kitchens using damp cloths and baking soda with less than a cup of water total. The preservation technique extends food freshness during power outages. Sprinkling baking soda around food storage areas absorbs moisture and odors that accelerate spoilage, potentially extending the usable life of perishables by days. Storage matters significantly. The latest trend among serious preppers involves vacuum sealing baking soda in meal-sized portions. This extends effectiveness from about 6 months to over 3 years while dramatically reducing storage space. At under $5 for a 5-pound bag, baking soda delivers incredible return on investment. It's literally chemistry you can afford, with applications that could save your life when conventional solutions aren't available. Number 5. Duct tape. The emergency room in a roll. Every emergency responder carries duct tape, and once you understand why, you'll never look at it the same way again. During Hurricane Ian, real stories emerged of homeowners using duct tape to hold shattered windows together throughout the storm. One Reddit user documented their front window, crisscrossed with duct tape, reinforced with plastic sheeting, completely preventing water entry while neighbors' unprotected homes flooded within minutes. That's not theory. That's tested, proven disaster control from a $5 roll. The structural applications go far beyond simple repairs. Duct tape can reinforce failing roof sections, seal broken pipes temporarily, and create emergency patches for water containers. Its waterproof adhesive maintains bond strength even underwater, making it ideal for urgent fixes until proper repairs become possible. In medical emergencies, duct tape transforms into sophisticated treatment tools. It creates effective splints for broken bones, secure bandages for severe cuts, makeshift slings for arm injuries, and blister protection during evacuation walks. Hikers have used these techniques for years, and some wrap tape around water bottles, specifically for emergency medical situations. The security applications matter more than most people realize. During earthquakes or aftershocks, cabinet doors can burst open, sending sharp objects flying. Duct tape can secure these doors, preventing injuries from broken glass and dishes. It also reinforces door locks if you need to evacuate quickly, deterring opportunistic break-ins. For shelter improvements, duct tape excels at sealing gaps that let in wind, rain, or insects. During power outages, maintaining comfortable shelter temperature becomes critical for conserving energy and preventing hypothermia. Strategic taping can dramatically improve your shelter's efficiency. The light discipline applications have gained attention recently among preparedness experts. Black duct tape over windows creates complete darkness during nighttime power outages, preventing light from attracting unwanted attention or advertising your presence to potential threats. Water procurement becomes possible through duct tape engineering. At a 2023 Preparedness Expo, demonstrators showed how torn tarps and coat hangers could become functional water buckets using only duct tape construction. The resulting container held 3 gallons without leaking, potentially keeping families hydrated during boil notices or contaminated water events. Silent gear preparation helps during evacuations or stealth movements. Taping items prevents clanking in backpacks, reduces noise from loose equipment, and creates secure attachment points for critical gear. The improvisation factor sets duct tape apart from specialized tools. It adapts to whatever situation you face, providing solutions that rigid tools simply can't match. When everything around you feels unpredictable, duct tape offers control through pure versatility. Quality matters significantly. Heavy-duty varieties withstand much more stress than standard grades, and the aggressive adhesive formulations maintain bonding strength in extreme temperatures and wet conditions. Storage tip: wrap several feet around flashlights, water bottles, or other emergency gear. This way, you always have tape available without carrying separate rolls, and it doesn't add noticeable weight or bulk to your kit. At $5 per roll, duct tape might become the MVP of your entire emergency strategy. It's not flashy or high-tech, but when crisis hits, it's improvisation that saves lives. Number 6. Vacuum sealer, the silent survival multiplier. That vacuum sealer collecting dust in your kitchen cabinet might be the most underrated survival tool you own. When Hurricane Ian hit Florida in 2022, families with vacuum sealers reported something remarkable. Their food lasted 5 times longer than traditional storage methods during the 2-week recovery period. One family saved over $600 worth of meat alone, while neighbors threw out hundreds of dollars of spoiled groceries. The science is straightforward. Vacuum sealing removes oxygen, the primary culprit in food spoilage. But the survival applications extend far beyond food preservation. Document protection becomes critical during floods, storms, or evacuations. Insurance policies, medical records, identification documents, and family photos, vacuum sealed, they survive complete water immersion. A FEMA worker shared that water damage destroys more critical personal documents than fire, making this protection invaluable. The waterproofing applications extend to electronics, medications, matches, and spare batteries. During camping tests, vacuum-sealed phones and wallets stayed completely dry during unexpected rainstorms, while unprotected electronics suffered expensive water damage. Space efficiency matters tremendously for emergency storage. Vacuum-sealed supplies occupy 40% less space than traditional storage methods. Your 3-month emergency supply suddenly fits in a closet instead of requiring an entire basement room. The newer models address power outage concerns directly. Battery-powered vacuum sealers can operate during blackouts, and some models run efficiently on portable power banks. The FoodSaver PowerVac 2000 can seal 50 packages on a single charge, perfect for continued food preservation during extended outages. Long-term medication storage becomes possible with vacuum sealing. Prescription drugs maintain potency longer when protected from air and moisture. For families managing chronic conditions, this could mean the difference between having life-saving medications and going without during supply chain disruptions. The ice preservation technique proved invaluable during recent grid failures. Families sealed ice in bags to keep medications and insulin cold, extending cooling power far beyond what traditional ice storage could achieve. Value creation during emergencies is remarkable. While neighbors discard spoiled food worth hundreds of dollars, vacuum sealer owners continue enjoying fresh meals. The equipment pays for itself during the first major power outage. Emergency cash and valuable storage provides security during evacuations. Vacuum-sealed currency, jewelry, and important small items remain protected and portable when you need to leave quickly. The psychological benefits matter during stressful situations. Having fresh, appealing food available maintains morale and provides comfort when everything else feels uncertain. Good nutrition also supports clear thinking and physical resilience during demanding circumstances. For around $75, you're acquiring a tool that preserves food, protects valuables, maximizes storage space, and maintains functionality during power outages. The return on investment becomes obvious the first time you face an extended emergency. Number 7. Hand crank radio. Your lifeline to critical information. When Hurricane Ian knocked out power to 2.6 million Florida residents, most people lost all connection to the outside world. No phones, no internet, no way to know what was happening beyond their walls, except for the smart ones who owned this overlooked gem. The shocking reality? Only 12% of Americans include radios in their emergency kits. That's a potentially deadly oversight. During the California wildfires, cellular networks crashed under massive demand and physical damage to towers. Hand crank radio owners were the only ones receiving evacuation route updates in real time. One woman avoided a road that became engulfed in flames just 30 minutes after she heard the warning broadcast. "That radio saved my life," she said simply. The latest models transcend simple radio functionality. The Midland ER310 doubles as a power bank that can charge phones with just 6 minutes of cranking. During true emergencies, that phone connection to family members might mean everything. Weather alert systems have evolved dramatically. The National Weather Service now provides hyper-local warnings specific to your county. These radios automatically broadcast alerts about tornadoes, flash floods, chemical spills, and other immediate threats, even when you're sleeping. That advance warning could provide the crucial minutes needed to reach safety. The independence factor becomes critical when everything else fails. While others depend on failing infrastructure, hand crank radios operate completely off-grid. 1 minute of cranking provides about 15 minutes of critical information. Most models include solar panels for passive charging during daylight hours. Information advantage during disasters often determines survival outcomes. Knowing which roads remain open, where emergency shelters operate, when utility crews expect power restoration. This intelligence helps you make informed decisions instead of dangerous guesses. The psychological benefits shouldn't be underestimated. During isolation and uncertainty, hearing human voices and current information provides enormous comfort. It reminds you that the wider world continues functioning and help is coming. Battery backup systems provide redundancy when manual cranking isn't practical. But the beautiful aspect of these radios is that batteries become optional rather than essential. Even complete battery failure doesn't render the device useless. Communications during family emergencies extend beyond crisis situations. These radios receive standard AM/FM broadcasts, keeping you connected to news, weather, and entertainment during routine power outages. The construction quality of modern emergency radios has improved significantly. Weather-resistant cases protect against rain and humidity, while shock-resistant designs survive drops and rough handling that would destroy regular electronics. Signal reception often exceeds smartphone capabilities during network overload situations. Radio broadcasts continue functioning when cellular systems become overwhelmed by demand, providing reliable information when digital communications fail. At around $35, emergency radios represent incredible insurance against information blackouts. When conventional communications fail, this simple device could provide the critical intelligence needed to navigate safely through dangerous situations. Number 8. Tea tree oil, nature's medicine cabinet. While everyone fights over expensive antibiotics and first aid supplies, this $12 bottle contains medical-grade solutions for dozens of emergency health problems. Tea tree oil's antimicrobial properties are so powerful that hospitals now use pharmaceutical-grade versions for treating antibiotic-resistant infections. The concentrated natural compounds, primarily terpenen-4-ol, destroy bacteria, fungi, and viruses more effectively than many synthetic alternatives. During skin emergencies, tea tree oil becomes invaluable. Cuts, scrapes, insect bites, and fungal infections respond remarkably to diluted applications. Unlike antibiotic creams that expire and lose potency, tea tree oil maintains effectiveness indefinitely when stored properly. The respiratory applications matter during poor air quality events. Adding drops to hot water creates steam inhalations that clear congested sinuses and soothe irritated airways. When wildfires or dust storms compromise air quality, this natural remedy provides relief without requiring specialized equipment. Dental emergencies become manageable with tea tree oil solutions. Toothaches, gum infections, and mouth sores respond to careful applications of diluted oil. When professional dental care isn't available, this natural antiseptic can prevent minor issues from becoming serious infections. The antifungal properties excel in humid emergency conditions. Athlete's foot, nail fungus, and other moisture-related infections can spread rapidly in cramped quarters during extended emergencies. Tea tree oil prevents and treats these conditions effectively. Household disinfection becomes possible during water shortages. Tea tree oil solutions clean surfaces without requiring extensive rinsing, making it ideal when water conservation is critical. The antimicrobial action continues working after application, providing longer-lasting protection than alcohol-based cleaners. Mental health benefits emerge from aromatherapy applications. The distinctive scent has proven stress-reducing properties, helping maintain psychological resilience during prolonged, difficult situations. Small comforts like familiar, pleasant aromas can significantly impact morale. The concentration advantage means tiny amounts create powerful solutions. A single small bottle can treat hundreds of applications when properly diluted, making it incredibly space-efficient for emergency kits. Quality sourcing matters critically. Pure, therapeutic-grade tea tree oil from Australian Melaleuca alternifolia provides maximum medicinal value. Cheaper synthetic versions or oils from other plant species lack the beneficial compound concentrations. Safety requires proper dilution for skin applications, typically 1 to 2 drops per tablespoon of carrier oil. Never apply undiluted tea tree oil directly to skin, and always test small areas first to check for sensitivity reactions. Storage in dark glass bottles away from heat preserves potency for years. Unlike most natural remedies that degrade quickly, properly stored tea tree oil maintains therapeutic value indefinitely. For around $12, you're acquiring a complete natural pharmacy that addresses infection control, respiratory relief, dental care, and psychological support during emergencies when conventional medical care isn't available. Number 9. Myar Emergency Blankets, the space-age survival tool. These crinkly metallic sheets might look like science fiction props, but they contain NASA-developed technology that could save your life for less than $2 per blanket. The physics are remarkable. Mylar reflects up to 90% of body heat back to you while weighing less than 3 ounces. That means a blanket smaller than a paperback book can prevent hypothermia in freezing conditions. During the 2021 Texas freeze, families without power discovered these blankets could maintain survivable temperatures even when indoor temperatures dropped below freezing. One family reported staying warm enough to sleep comfortably while their neighbors suffered dangerous cold exposure. The signaling applications prove equally valuable. The highly reflective surface creates mirror-like signals visible from aircraft miles away. Search and rescue teams specifically look for these reflective flashes during aerial searches. In emergency situations, being visible to rescuers can mean the difference between rescue and prolonged exposure. Heat deflection during extreme summer temperatures works in reverse. The reflective side facing outward reflects solar radiation, keeping you cooler in hot conditions. Emergency shelter construction becomes more effective with Mylar barriers reducing heat gain by significant margins. Ground insulation prevents heat loss through conduction when sleeping on cold surfaces. Concrete, metal, and frozen ground can drain body heat rapidly. Mylar creates an effective thermal barrier that maintains warmth without adding bulk or weight to emergency sleeping systems. Solar oven construction becomes possible using Mylar's reflective properties. Lining cardboard boxes with Mylar concentrates sunlight effectively enough to cook food and pasteurize water during sunny conditions. This passive cooking method requires no fuel and produces no smoke. Shelter waterproofing improves dramatically with Mylar additions. The material creates effective vapor barriers that prevent moisture infiltration while maintaining insulation properties. Emergency shelters become much more habitable with Mylar reinforcement. The psychological impact shouldn't be overlooked. Having warm, dry shelter dramatically improves morale and decision-making capacity during stressful situations. Physical comfort directly supports mental resilience when facing challenging circumstances. Durability has improved significantly in modern versions. While original emergency blankets tore easily, newer formulations resist punctures and tears much better while maintaining the essential reflective and insulation properties. Multiple uses from single blankets maximize value. Cut into strips, Mylar becomes emergency signaling ribbon. Shaped into funnels, it collects water efficiently. Used as window covering, it provides privacy and temperature control. The space efficiency makes Mylar blankets perfect for every emergency kit. They compress into tiny packages that fit easily in glove compartments, desk drawers, or jacket pockets. When you need them, they expand to full-size protection instantly. Quality variations exist among manufacturers. Look for blankets with reinforced edges and slightly thicker material. They cost marginally more but resist tearing much better during actual use. At under $2 each, Mylar emergency blankets represent possibly the best value-to-benefit ratio in emergency preparedness. Stock several in different locations. They're so inexpensive that redundancy makes perfect sense. These 9 everyday items, honey, aluminum foil, dental floss, baking soda, duct tape, vacuum sealers, hand crank radios, tea tree oil, and Mylar blankets, represent a complete survival system hiding in plain sight. While others spend thousands on specialized gear, you can build comprehensive emergency resilience for under $150 total. The key insight here is simple. Effective preparedness doesn't require expensive equipment or military training. It requires recognizing the extraordinary potential in ordinary objects and understanding how to use them when conventional solutions aren't available. Remember, being prepared isn't about fear, it's about confidence. When you know you have tools and knowledge to handle unexpected situations, you approach life with greater peace of mind. Start small. Pick 3 items from this list and add them to your emergency kit this week. Test them during your next camping trip or power outage. Experience firsthand how these simple tools can transform challenging situations into manageable ones. Your future self will thank you for taking action today. Sometimes the smallest preparations make the biggest difference when it matters most. If this information could help someone you care about, consider sharing this video with them. And if you found value here, hitting that like button and subscribing ensures you'll catch our upcoming video on the 5 critical mistakes most people make when storing emergency water. Trust me, you're probably making at least 2 of them. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, the best survival tool is knowledge, and knowledge weighs nothing.